Hello, meteorologist David Keller. We are tracking a couple of thunderstorms here off to the west of the metro. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for portions of northwestern Lancaster County into southwestern Saunders County. There was a brief little area of rotation that developed near Seward. That rotation has already diminished at this point in time, so the threat has already decreased here for southwestern Saunders County. However, if you are hearing the sirens going off there in Saunders County or northern Lancaster County, this is why the tornado warning is in effect until 12:30 a.m. However, if I switch the radar over to our wind velocity mode, there's really not much in the way of rotation left. I can zoom in to Seward County, and if I roll the picture back here about 10 minutes or so, you can see there was this little area of rotation that developed just southwest of Seward. So we had winds in the green moving to the northeast, winds in the red moving to the southwest, and where those winds come together, that was some fairly decent rotation. However, the atmosphere is not really favorable for tornado development at this point. And as that moved to the northeast, let me play this forward just a little bit. You can see that little pocket of rotation there quickly diminished, and it's pretty much all gone now. And that little system is now moving into northwestern Lancaster County between Valparaiso and Malcolm. And there's really not much left in the way of rotation with that thunderstorm. So the tornado warning likely to be canceled here before 12:30, but I did just want to hop on and give you a little update here tonight as that tornado warning was issued for northeastern Seward County, southeastern Butler County, southwestern Saunders County, and northwestern Lancaster County. Again, that tornado warning is in effect until 12:30. We are not anticipating seeing this become a widespread issue. This line of storms continues to decrease in intensity as it's moving to the east. We've not had many reports of severe weather here over the last probably hour and a half. Looks like we did have a wind gust report of about 55 miles an hour in Seward. So that's strong enough that is to kind of shake things around a little bit, perhaps some spotty power outages, but we haven't had any real reports of severe weather with this line of storms over the last hour and a half as it's been pushing to the east. And I really don't expect that we're going to see much more in the way of severe weather. But with this tornado warning, of course, that causes the tornado sirens to sound across portions of Butler, Saunders, Lancaster, and Seward counties. And you may have gotten an emergency alert on your phone if you're inside of this tornado warning. Currently, it's still in a place here for portions of Seward County into Lancaster and Saunders County, just south of Dwight into the Valparaiso area. And that warning is in effect until 12:30 a.m. for an area of rotation that developed right over Seward. That likely helped to create that wind gust of about 56 miles an hour there in Seward. But we've just not seen much in the way of additional rotation as this has been moving to the north and the east. So again, if I switch us over to our wind speed mode, we're looking for those bright greens and reds come together, and everything we're seeing is green. So that just indicates all the wind is pretty much moving in this direction, and we're not seeing much in the way of rotation right now. So that tornado risk has likely decreased already as this line of storms has now crossed over the Saunders and Lancaster County line. If I switch us back over, you can see that the leading edge is now coming into Valparaiso and Malcolm. So there could be a couple of wind gusts around 50, maybe 55 miles per hour in this portion of the storm. But the severe weather risk really continues to decrease as this is moving eastward. But I did just want to pop on and let you know that this tornado warning was issued as this has been moving to the east and to the northeast. So I'm not expecting the severe risk to move into the metro. The overall trend over the last 2 hours has been a weakening trend. But again, if you're out in Saunders County, if you're in Wahoo, if you're in Utan, if you're in Meade, and you got an emergency alert or you're hearing sirens right now, this is why that tornado warning was issued for a very small area of rotation that developed just to the southwest of Seward and continues to track to the north and east. However, that rotation did not last long. It quickly dissipated, and we've already seen it kind of fade away. But there may still be some strong wind gusts in this portion of the storm as it continues to move to the east, about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So again, this tornado warning continues for far southeastern Butler County, southwestern Saunders County, northeastern Seward County, northwestern Lancaster County until 12:30 a.m. It includes areas around Garland and Valparaiso. It does not include Wahoo. It does not include Lincoln. It does not include Waverly. It does not include Ashland, and Seward has already been dropped from that tornado warning. It also doesn't include David City or Prague, so it's really just areas around Garland and Valparaiso. However, that rotation has pretty much already dissipated, and I'm not really seeing a immediate threat for a tornado. So I'm going to flip our wind speeds back on here. And again, what we're looking for are those bright reds and greens that come together. Right now, all we're seeing is the green color here in the storm, which indicates mostly winds that are blowing from west to east. However, if I roll the radar picture back here just a little bit, you can see that little bright spot right there. That indicates a nice little area of rotation that developed just north of I-80. Near Gaynor, just southwest of Seward, and that was rolling to the northeast, and that's what prompted that tornado warning. If we roll forward, you can see that rotation dissipates pretty quickly, and you'll notice the tornado warning was just canceled. So the National Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning for Butler, Saunders, Seward, and Lancaster counties. That severe weather risk has dissipated very, very quickly. So that is what we like to see here at this time of night. So unfortunately, if you were woken up by an emergency alert or the tornado sirens, or even just the thunderstorms rolling across your neighborhood, we did have that tornado warning that was issued for portions of Seward, Lancaster, and Saunders counties, but that tornado warning has now been canceled. So that is some certainly good news right there. I'm going to stay with you here for just a little bit longer as these storms continue to march eastward. If anybody's still up, kind of wondering what's going on out there, yeah, we do still have a pretty good line of thunderstorms stretching from around Schuyler through David City into the Seward area, just moved into Malcolm and Valparaiso. It's approaching Wahoo and Lincoln, but the severe weather risk with these storms is very, very low. I'm not expecting much in the way of additional severe weather as these storms continue to move our way. There could be an isolated wind gust here or there up to about 40, 45 miles an hour, but that's about all I'm expecting here for the rest of the evening. So again, if we look at our wind speeds, we're not really seeing any significant signs of rotation. What we are seeing is a gust front, or the outflow from these thunderstorms. See this line right there? That's the leading edge of possibly some gusty winds, but just not picking up on a lot of really high winds at this point in time. So that's certainly some good news in and of itself right there. If I actually change our wind speed product here to, let's see, just our velocity. So it kind of changes the colors there just a little bit. You can see a lot more bright green back here behind this little line right here. So that's the leading edge of potentially some gusty winds, but we're not seeing a lot of major activity at this point in time. So that is certainly some really good news right there. So if you are still up with us here as we cross midnight into Monday morning, have a pretty good line of thunderstorms rolling its way across eastern Nebraska. If I turn on the lightning, still quite a bit of lightning out there. In fact, I can take a little estimate here and see what we got. About 185 lightning strikes in the past 5 minutes or so. So still plenty of lightning as this activity pushes to the east. Let me put it into motion here for the last hour. So you can see that motion is still moving eastward, but we've seen a general decrease in the intensity for most of these thunderstorms. We did have one storm that popped up right here, and as the line kind of ran into it, it caused it to intensify right over Seward, and that's what prompted that severe thunderstorm and tornado warning for the Seward area. But as you can see, those dark reds and the purple colors that showed up there for a brief moment. Let me actually zoom in a little bit more on Seward so you can see what happened. We had this storm that popped up ahead of the main line right here. And as the main line ran into it, it intensified a little bit. But now that the main line has run through that storm, it's quickly falling apart. So still expecting the potential for some gusty winds of maybe 40 to 45 miles an hour. You can see the leading edge. Let me pause this. The leading edge right there. That's where those gusty winds are. So just to the west of Wahoo. Just moved through Schuyler, likely moving through North Bend right now. It's approaching Fremont in the next 30 minutes, Wahoo probably in the next 15 minutes, and Lincoln in the next 15 minutes. And then it'll move into the Omaha Metro by about 1 a.m., but it will continue to weaken as it does so. As we go up the line, not as much activity here north of Highway 30, so we get up towards Scribner, we get up toward West Point, get up toward Pender and Pilger. Not as much activity up here. The line has really fallen apart north of Highway 30, so most of the activity is going to be focused south of Highway 30 here as we head into the early morning hours of your Monday, and this line continues to weaken as it moves on in. So I did just want to provide a quick update for anybody that was woken up here by the storms and potentially that warning issued here that was issued off to the west of the Omaha Metro. If you are still awake and worried about the potential for severe weather here in town, some good news is that it does not look like that these storms are going to be doing too much in the way of severe weather as they move our way. Still likely going to have a couple of wind gusts out there by about 1 o'clock in the morning, some lightning and thunder, maybe some brief downpours, but the severe weather risk is really diminishing. We just had that one storm that just managed to really intensify briefly, and I mean briefly, in the Seward area, and it's already lost a lot of steam, and I expect that weakening trend to continue here as we head through the next couple of hours. So if you are trying to decide whether or not to go to bed yet here in Omaha, I think you are safe to go to bed. I'm not worried about any additional severe activity as this moves our way. So hopefully that puts you a little bit at ease. My time here is just about up. I need to get some sleep myself here before we head into Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Of course, I'm going to keep an eye on things, and if anything changes, we'll be back with you, and Rusty Lord will be in dark and early here to track the storms as they should be exiting the area by about 2 o'clock this morning. So if you're here in the Omaha Metro, I think you're safe to go to bed, and we'll see you again with daybreak starting at 4:30.